Hello and welcome to Instant Experts. I am your host, Michael Busch, and I'm excited to have you all here this evening. We have a very exciting and informational show for you. We have 5 pairs of experts in 5 different fields that are going to give very informative presentations, and we're all going to learn a lot this evening. I hope you put your knowledge caps on. So let's see how this show is going to work. I will bring out each pair of experts and introduce them. Then they will give their presentations, and afterward there will be a Q&A. So during their presentations, if you have any questions for the experts, please drop them in the chat and I will ask them after their presentation is done. And I think that's all the information I need to share right now. Let me just check. Yep, okay. Everything's going according to plan. So uh, let's bring out our first pair of experts. Hello, Ian McKellar and Pat Stewart. Welcome. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you. We're excited. That is, yep, that is the right word, isn't it, Ian?
That's right, Pat. We're excited. We climb high. We stay there as long as we can. We hold on to the rainbow by the shackles. We're glad to be here.
And you know, the rainbow it goes up and it comes down, but that's just what life is, folks. That's, you know, you go up, you come down, but there's always another rainbow at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah, so you're on for the entire ride, up, down, down, and up.
Yep. As
the
you
whole
might
rainbow.
know, it's been a pretty wild it's been a wild month here at GameStop, where Ian and I both work.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that. Oh, I didn't realize you were GameStoppers. So yeah, that is quite a ride, and you're going to give us a presentation here that will hopefully help our audience maybe understand a little bit where you're coming from.
Oh, of course. Man, I don't think I can hold on. I don't think I can hold on anymore. I gotta get off this ride.
Ian, we can do this. All right.
You know what?
Just breathe, do your mantras, look in the mirror, and remind yourself that you are a smart millennial and that there is more pasture for you to eat.
You know, it sounds like the two of you are primed and ready to go. So I'm just going to let you get right into your presentation. I'm very excited. Remember, audience, if you have any questions during the presentation, drop them in the YouTube channel chat, and I will ask them afterward. So Ian and Pat, take it away.
Okay.
Woo. Something that we're super familiar with.
That's right. This is a new business venture for us. You know, we're kind of looking at the end of the line here for good old GameStop, and we've been doing a lot of market research that we're excited to share with you all.
You know, a lot of people in our focus groups and in our online surveys have been saying that, hey, you know, we love sinking our teeth into a good crime, and god damn it, do we know a good crime when we see one at GameStop when it's all taken from you.
It's such a crime, and we're a star that burned so bright during the mall outlet days, and just seeing what's happened to it, it kills me. It kills me, Ian. It's literally killing me. I'm wasting away.
Like I said, I don't think I got it set. It's time to let go. All right.
No, you're right. You're right. It is time to let go, and time to say hello to the world of true crime podcasts. Hit that next slide, Rachel.
We'd like to thank Rachel, our intern, helping us out here today.
That's right. Rachel is a freshman at
can do without
UCLA.
Her. Rachel, we'll give you a good recommendation wherever you go next. Don't worry, we got your back. As long as you got ours, because really we don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I can tell you what's going to happen with our true crime podcast, Ian. We're going to pick a theme and a title.
You know, a good theme could be stupid freaking Reddit readers and GD Discord talkers, whatever the hell these dudes are. There's a crime right there. You got thousands of little peons across the globe just causing havoc. Just causing havoc.
Yeah, thanks a bunch, guys, on Reddit, because our stock is now lower than it was a month ago.
So you got to pick a theme, and one theme could be the millions of peons that have no life and are just on their apps on Robinhood and need to be shut down immediately.
Yep. It's good to pair crime stories with alcohol, as we've learned. Pair most of my work with alcohol these days. Am I right?
I actually ran out of all of my alcohol and I can't afford anymore.
No, I understand. I'm drinking a warm beer because I cannot afford to have my computer and my refrigerator running at the same time.
There's a lot of trends out there. One of them could have been games, video games, making a comeback. Sure, you can't buy a physical video game anymore that actually has relevance. But hey, we could have come up with something good to make a trend. We were thinking, all right? We were thinking out there, but lots of people thought the opposite and caused a whole fiasco. And
that's right. You know, a trend you can investigate, Reddit, the Dreamcast. We still got a lot of Dreamcasts in stock.
Who needs a Nintendo Switch when you can look at your Dreamcast screen? It's 32 bits and it's pretty nice.
Sonic the Hedgehog to the moon. Am I right? Am I right, guys? Can you go to the next slide, Rachel?
Oh, personas. There's lots of personas
do I
that
even
used to
have
work
one of
at
those
our.
anymore?
There's a lot of personas that used to work at your local GameStops. A lot of people that you would walk up to and get to know, see their face, find out about hot used games on their shelves that may have just come in. Sure, they bought them for pennies on the dollar, but we had to let them go. And it's all your fault, America.
It's not our fault, you know, that we sold something that ceased to exist. You know, we could have branched out. We had some ideas. Remember, Ian? We were gonna start having like tournaments. Everyone comes in and plays Sonic on Dreamcast. You know, that was a good idea.
I love that idea.
I
love that idea. And we could have introduced board game tournaments, or we could have figured that out and had some comic books and could have attracted a whole crowd of people who are just tired of looking at fancy schmancy Xbox X's that you just download the games right to your console. Why not just have a nice board game box that you have at your lap?
That's right. You know, everyone's stuck at home with their families now, and you know, you can't get mom and dad to play Halo 4 with you. That makes no sense. You need board games, folks. Ian, you're so smart. God, you don't deserve what this company's done to you, man.
Patrick, just promise me that whatever happens to us, that we'll make something of this. We'll figure something out. All right. We got Rachel. She's got our back. Rachel, with that in mind, why don't you skip the next slide and go to the last slide? Because we really want to show you this last slide because we're just trying to jump to the end, for Christ's sake.
Oh, damn, those are good photos.
No, we need something. We need some love out there. And you know, we had a nice tagline with GameStop. You know, it was come in and sell buy new and sell used. Buy new and sell used.
That's right. And buy used. We
we're
only selling new stuff, but then we realized that like there's no point in buying used games from other people if we're not going to sell them. That was kind of a bad year too.
Yeah, that was when you're just selling Sonic the Hedgehog on Dreamcast or
Oh,
Crash
Ian, all I
Bandicoot.
can see are my failures.
Hey, hey. Banjo-Kazooie was a great game too. Crash Bandicoot, that shit sold well into 2008. All right,
Yeah. What you're telling me is that I should learn how to play the banjo.
that's an option. It's an option for us, Patrick. You know, Rachel, let's cover our tracks here. Why don't you check out that previous slide? Let's make sure we just
That's
get
right.
every
Let's give
inch.
that slide a chance. Because we deserve a chance too.
For the next phase in our life, we're gonna set the tone. We're gonna set a strong tone of hope and ambition and something to do with kids actually interacting face to face.
Setting the tone means being respectful to yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, you're going to be fine. It's okay that you accidentally put all your money on GameSpot instead of your own company, GameStop. People make mistakes, and that's okay. That's okay. You are committed to finding justice for the families victimized by those bastards on Wall Street.
Don't forget about all of America. When the whole country's against you, it's like an ocean current that you can't stop. It's like a tsunami of hatred and investing. And you just get caught in the bottom of it just because you didn't know your company's own ticker symbol.
That's right. And the only cure is to be inappropriately gleeful. Ian, do you know what I did the other day? That was both gleeful and inappropriate.
What did you do, Patrick?
I went over to Wall Street and I squeezed a short, if you know what I'm laying down.
I appreciate that. So you grabbed him by the balls
Mm-hmm.
and you told him, hey, don't forget about the little guy. The $6 million company GameStop is out there too, and that has feelings.
And then I remembered that big iron bowl that I was grabbing can't hear me, can't hear my complaints. So I set a bathroom on fire.
It's always a good option. It's always a good option. I think that about covers everything you need to know about crime.
Yep.
We're
starting our own true crime podcast soon. It's called True Tales from Wall Street's Hell.
Wow. All right. Well, let's get into some Q&A. That was some very serious business there from Ian and Pat. It sounds like you two have been through a lot recently. And Pat, I just have to ask, it sounds like you've committed some true crimes in the past couple days.
What? Did I say that? No.
You may have incriminated yourself, but we'll gloss over that for now. Let's get into some questions from our audience. Let's see. How much would a like new true crime podcast get someone at GameStop?
Oh, well, if you brought in a like new true crime podcast, let's say you brought in something like the famous Serial that NPR did such a great job on, say about $12.
$12. All right, that's fair. Okay, let's see. Sarah wants to know, can she return a game she bought in 2006?
No. I mean, you can physically bring it in, but we will not be able to refund any of what you paid for it.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's probably in your refund policy. That's fair. Let's see.
If it is a Dreamcast game, though, we will pay $20 for it. And
yeah, you guys seem pretty obsessed with the Dreamcast. Is that the last video game system you've bought?
It's a good system. It's also the only one we haven't sold. So it's
Yeah,
the only one we have in the office.
We have 25 million SKUs in stock right now, and it's, you don't really make money even on the council, and we've got 25 million also copies of Sonic the Hedgehog, and that's where we're hoping to really make a bang here.
Wow, you went hard on that dreamer there. Okay, so let's see. A couple more questions. Has GameStop ever killed someone?
Patrick, I think I'll let you answer this one.
Ian, do not throw me under the bus right now. I know that you know what I know, and I know that you know what I know about what you know.
Oh, it sounds like some double blackmail's going on here. Interesting.
Let's just say we had some problems with the folks over at PlayStation.
Let's just say that the good people at PlayStation can't keep their mouths shut.
Interesting. Well, we'll leave it at that. Okay, so let me get one more question in here. If you investigated the closing of your business, which one of you would be more at fault? It sounds like we have some investigators in the audience.
Well, I'm completely innocent. My core goal here is to make sure that GameStop has great marketing. Like I said, we had buy and sell, new or used. That was our tagline. I have held many a focus group and surveys, and that was keeping us afloat till about 2018.
So to be clear, Ian, no crimes from your end.
No crimes from the marketing community.
Pat?
I too am completely innocent, even more innocent than Ian, I might venture to say. And it was my idea to start selling everything online via Amazon. And so you could say that I'm more committed to the success of the company, and therefore have no reason to jeopardize that by committing any crimes.
Even though you have admitted 2 crimes on this very show.
No, we did not have any insiders at PlayStation that we secretly brought in for a focus group where they threatened their families and said that they couldn't leave the room and they could enjoy the cookies for as long as they like until they told us the security codes to get into the building. That never happened.
Wow.
Okay, so let's just leave it at that, and you can consult with your lawyers about.
Ian killed someone for a PlayStation 4. I'm sorry, man. They've been pressuring me.
Okay, let's just cut them. We'll just cut them off. We'll cut them off. I think that's enough from them.
One round of applause for Rachel, our intern. She's the only person who works in our office building.
Rachel needs to distance herself.
Snapping fingers, Rachel. Snapping fingers.
Okay, let's cut them. We're done. I think we're done with Ian and Pat. Okay. All right. Goodbye, Ian. Goodbye, Pat. All right. Let's move right on to our next pair of experts. I hope that they're in a little better mood than our last pair. So let's bring them out. Hello, Ivan and Katerina Vetochkin. Is that how you pronounce it?
Vetochin.
I'm sorry, say it again, please.
Vetochin.
Vetochin.
Is Russian.
He's Russian. We are from Russia. We are in Russia.
Oh, you are from Russia and in Russia. Fantastic. That's great.
Yes.
Well, it's fantastic to have both of you. I know you are the foremost experts in your field, and yes. I see that it's great to see a pair of professionals share everything. I see you're sharing your technology as well.
Yes.
Yes, only one computer here in Russia. Very, very high ticket item.
We cannot be on very long. Town only has one Wi-Fi server. We are using it. Very people mad with us now.
Oh wow! So it's like having like AOL for the entire town. Like if someone tries to answer the phone,
it's literally AOL.
Oh wow! Okay. That's good to know. So let's get you right in your presentation because I don't want to risk losing you. So let's
Yes.
get right into it. And remember, audience, if you have any questions for our experts while they're presenting, please drop it in the chats. So take it
Okay.
away, Ivan and Katerina.
All right, let's see the first slide. Yes. Claire's
Claire's,
the
the
identity
identity evolution.
evolution.
So this is where we design little shop for teenage girls. Obviously, we are experts in this field.
Yes. Many years ago in 1982, my great grandfather, Mikhail Bittelchik, designed Claire's, named it after a bear he once hugged in a snowstorm. And we decided to take America to sell earrings and purpley shirts.
Exactly. We knew because of our Russian heritage that little bits of plastic crap would do very, very well in places like Wisconsin or Ohio or what you say, Nebraska.
Is teenage girls, they need to feel pretty, and who else better to make them feel pretty than secret Russian family from a small town? Next slide, we get into presentation.
Okay, so who we are.
We are ear piercings, unicorns, and we spend your allowance here.
So what we mean by we are ear piercings means, hey, I am 14-year-old girl from Wisconsin.
I am your mother. You not get your ears pierced. I will be very mad.
But mom, everybody at the middle school with the lockers has their ears pierced and is normal.
Well, listen to me. You, if our friends jump from a bridge, will you jump?
Yes, mom, because I want to be popular and have the LL Bean book bag.
Oh, you make me so crazy. I am going to go and smoke and drink wine. You better not go to mall.
But mom, listen to me. What if I told you that I could go to a very clean place in mall and get ear pierced by professional teenage girl?
I am putting down wine. What do you say?
It's only $14. I can use my allowance I get from my papa who works at the car factory.
Yes, the American car factory where they make quality cars.
Ford.
Yes.
Moving on.
Moving on, next slide.
No, I wanted to talk about unicorn.
Oh, I forget.
So-
But unicorns is a musical horse creature with a penis on head.
And very popular as we did Russian network of research, and unicorn hits #1 Google search by girls ages 10 to 16. So we put unicorn earring, unicorn headband, unicorn backpack, unicorn shirt, unicorn sequin shirt, go up and down, you can change it.
Yes, and like I said, the penis on the head because teenage girl hormones.
Exactly.
So they like, oh boy.
Next slide.
Yes. Okay. So now we are on to, is our identity sustainable?
Is our identity sustainable?
Yes, that's what I say. It's hard for to speak.
I disappear. So, like we say, we have been in business since 1982.
Sorry, my wife is witch. She has been drinking vodka, and her powers, they make her disappear and will appear. Please apologize.
So,
I said please apologize.
so sorry, American people.
I know you're Russian. I know.
So our identity is very sustainable because, as we always say,
There's always teenage girls.
Exactly.
Yes. I don't want to brag to anybody, but there has always been teenage girl, always will be teenage girl.
Yes.
So, you know,
Next.
Claire's will always be there.
Next slide, please. Okay, so this is when we get into the research of potential rebranding strategies.
Can I take this one?
Sure.
So, you know, with the coronavirus outbreak, not many people go to mall. Why? Mall is fun place where you can get ears pierced and look at unicorns why not go to mall? It's because you get cough sick. I understand. So we decide what are three things that will make people go to the mall. Number one,
Bob Ross.
Robert Ross.
So as you all know, this is man who was actually veteran in 70s and rebrand himself as painter on the television.
Very popular TV. Yeah, there you go again, which very popular. He has number one show here in our town of Squefania. He is number one. So we figure we get him to be our spokesperson. We have not heard back from his representation yet, but he is going to be new Claire spokesman. Bob
So
Ross.
instead of Claire's, it would be called Babs.
Would it be called Bob Ross? We're working it. Bob Ross is Claire's.
Right, or that.
And then number two.
People in America love America. They love Labor Day.
They love to work. So on Labor Day, we have big Labor Day sale. All unicorn piercings, 25% down. Come
Yes.
back, witch.
Yes, and we were also thinking, American flag, Labor Day, Memorial Day, all these days so popular in US.
Mhm.
What if we rebrand Claire's as like American theme?
Yeah, your one-stop place for all American
Craft
stores.
or merchandise.
Of course. And which brings us to number three, the most popular book in the US and United States of America, the For Dummies books.
Bookstore. So when we do Google and Amazon research, we find people buy a lot of these For Dummies books.
We obviously figure out that there are a lot of dummies out there. They need to know things. So we are going to sell 4 dummy books in the Claire's.
Exactly. Could work. I don't know. Weakest idea, but could work.
No, I think strong. My idea. Okay,
Okay,
next slide.
slide.
Finally, rebranding.
Who do we become?
Decision must be made by Q2.
Yeah, so in quarter 2, we must decide whether we're going to be Claire's, we're going to be Bob Ross, we're going to be Independence Day, or we're going to be For Dummies. We got to decide.
I think we should rebrand, and I am only 50% of vote on the board, but I think we should rebrand as Bob Ross's Claire's For Dummies.
In America
is
what I came up with.
No, see, we still have to vote. Next quarter, we will have CEO. Our dog will be at the table, and we will vote. You will get your voice. Which?
Okay, so it's in conclusion.
Yes.
We throw it to the public now. It's either going to be Doug's decision or we do a public vote for what we should do with Claire. So please head to our webpage.
Can I just say that I do not like democracy is a public vote, and I think Doug make best decision, but I am willing to hear options.
Yes, so please head to www.claireswhatnow.org.
Now that's 4 W's. www.claireswhatnow. Thank you. That is the end of our conversation.
Wow, Ivan and Katerina, thank you so much. That was very enlightening about your business and your entire strategy. That I think that will help a lot of entrepreneurs who are just starting out. So let's jump right into some questions from the audience because we have quite a few here. Earlier we had Zach wanted to know, Ivan, whether your wife was a ghost. I think we covered that she is clearly a witch instead of a ghost. So
yes, my wife comes from a long line of witches here in Russia. She cast spell on me, made me make love to her, and now by Russian law I have to be married for her to ever.
For her to ever, yes, I think that's the exact vows, right?
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Let's see. Oh, we had a question from Sara. She asked, "Can you do love spells?" I think we just answered that one. So
all spells.
All spells
available at claire's.com.
Yes, you get free ear piercing, love spell, and then you have to make love to the man, and then he must love you forever times.
Fantastic. And And what was the you said your website is specifically on the www.
Correct.
And
That's
what does that stand for again?
That is the World Wide Web of the world.
Okay, okay, great, fantastic.
It's the
Just
real website, Michael Busch. You maybe not heard it because you are still America. You're still working on this, but the real website is where all the real information is. How we not affect your election, but we work with you.
got it. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, let's see. We have a question: is Claire's a front for a witch cult, and can they join?
oh well,
Um,
it's ask and then be able to get in the club situation.
it's more of an ask, don't tell.
But let me just say that when you get your ears pierced at Claire's, you're invited into a back room, and then you can sign secret paperwork.
And I will disclaim, if you get your ears pierced at Claire's and you do not get invited into back room, it's not personal. Just you have not good aura for to be bewitched. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I am covered in scars
Wow.
from my
Okay.
wife.
All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, do you have Piercings for Dummies book available?
Oh, available soon, coming out March 2021.
Yes, our dog is currently writing it right now. He is working at typewriter. If you listen, you might hear him typing, or he might be drunk. Yes, you hear him. He's working.
Maybe he's drunk and typing.
Could be. Or the greats, they drink and they write. Right, Michael Busch?
Yeah, I mean, it really does sound like your dog is the kind of the driving force behind your business here.
Oh, come back, wife.
Hello.
Stop it. We're very
What's-
important.
what is your dog's name?
Olaf.
Okay.
Not
Great,
to
so
be
it sounds-
confused with the Disney movie. He is not a snow person.
Got it. Okay, not a snow person. Fantastic. Let's see. Okay, we have someone who actually went to your website, your www website, and their computer began spinning in the air. Is that normal?
Very normal.
Yes.
This means you got into the site properly.
Mhm.
Follow all of the secret commands and see where you end up.
You will start to hear dark voices, heavy voices that almost don't sound human. That is okay. They will tell you to go to a certain spot in your house. That is where you can best commune with the website. So follow instructions. If you wake up and it feels like many days have passed, that is okay. If you see scars on your body because maybe someone stole your organs, that is okay. Welcome to Claire's family.
All right, well, there you go. And one last question we have: will unicorns still be a large part of your rebranding if you go with Labor Day? All unicorn imagery I see is them frolicking around and never doing any real work. So will
Right.
the unicorns be put to work, I guess, maybe is the question.
Yes, this would be kind of a hodgepodge of usually unicorn, excuse me, is pink and blue and stuff in the unicorn. This would be red, white, and blue
Yes.
with some kind of axe working hard.
Michael Busch, have you seen the Budweiser commercial with the Clydesdale horses with the big fucking feet and stuff?
Oh, sure, yes.
So we're going to take one of those horses and make them a unicorn by putting the penis horn on their face, and then we make them pull sled. For Christmas they pull Santa Claus close to us, and he will deliver Claire's piercings to our people.
Oh, so you can just so with I guess is that some kind of magical thing where you can actually create real unicorns?
Yes, it's called duct tape and a staple gun with a horn.
Well, and some magic, Michael. He forgets I am witch.
I don't forget. I never forget. You don't never give me a.
All right. Well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have, but Ivan and
We'll see
Katerina,
you in the magical land.
yes, I look forward to coming in and getting a piercing and maybe joining the witch cult. So I hope to see you soon.
God bless you, American men.
Thank you very much. All right. Well, we learned a lot about business. That was very educational. And let's jump right into our next pair of experts. Let's bring them right out.
Michael, I haven't seen you in years. How's the family, bud?
Family's good, doing all right. How are the two of you?
Oh, we're just lovely. Doctor, I haven't seen Michael since 1995 when we was in Oktoberfest together. We were in Germany. We just ended up in the same beer hall together. We clanked mugs and we broke both our mugs and we drank the broken glass along with it. This was all before I became a doctor. I did a lot of things before then.
That's true. I think your doctor partner's on mute.
So I am.
There.
I am. Oh,
There she is. Not a doctor of computers, are you?
Guilty as charged. Oh, it is so good to see old friends get back together. It warms the cockles of my heart.
Yes, we were in the ER for days after that glass drinking incident, weren't we?
Oh, how wonderful.
Hey, it's not about what you learn from a book. It's about what you learn from the people around you and what's inside, even if that includes broken glass.
So true, so true. Well, I'm very excited to have and you are both doctors, correct?
We are, yes. Yep.
That's
I'm
fantastic.
Dr. Sydney Poitier, and this is my colleague.
Oh yes, Dr. John Decker here, but please just call me Deck. We try to have a nice personable
Yes.
experience whenever we're together, whenever we're presenting our research, whenever we're
Yes.
just trying to.
That's what we love about you, Deck.
Sit in
Sid-
deck.
Dr. Sydney, we're happy to have both of you. So without further ado, let's just jump right into your presentation. I'm so excited to hear what you have to say this evening.
Oh yeah, I think we got something that's so important. We had to share it with the world because we are hoping to create the change that could turn this whole planet around.
Take it.
All right, I'm so excited. Oh, this is just the best day ever. Rutabagas, the root of flavor. Oh my goodness, it just puts a smile on my face to think about, especially here with you. So happy to be here, so happy to talk about something so near and dear to my heart. A comprehensive analysis of the vegetable we're going to take you through from the beginning all the way to the end, and I think it's a wild ride. Take it, next slide.
So, the rutabaga. It goes by many names around the world, and I've been all around the world. I've been to Bangladesh. I've been to Pakistan. I've been to Ghana. I've been to Brooklyn. Do you know how weird things get in Brooklyn? Those community gardens make the best rutabagas.
They do.
Now, they go by many names. Not in Sweden do they call them the Swedes, but in Finland they call them Swedes. There's a whole mixed match about, I talked to one Finnish man who just used that as somewhat of a derogatory, but it shouldn't be, because Swedes, Mapes, and Karabis.
Isn't language amazing? Isn't the world amazing?
They changed the world.
They did.
Languages sometimes divide, but they always unite us in the end when we sit down and eat rutabagas.
Yes, for sure. And I should clarify that I am a doctor of psychology, not of biology or of farming or anything like that. So to me, what I'm really about is how food can bring us together and how just joyful eating can be. And I know that, there is a lot of confusion, as my colleague said, but we just want to clarify for once and for all that it is not a turnip, but it is something that can be shared, and it is a communal food, for sure.
Absolutely. You know, turnips, they grow in the dark. They're meant for the dark corners and darkest abysses of the world.
Yeah.
And that's not what the rutabaga is about.
No.
Okay, so whoever created this confusion in the first place, they can see themselves out.
They can. Gone.
All right,
Yes.
yes, we can please continue with the slides.
This is my favorite slide. I can't wait to talk about it. This is one that my baby, so to speak. I found this picture that I took myself, and I thought this is going to go with the fun fact slide. And then I Googled fun facts about rutabagas, and I came up with this one for you. During World War I and World War II, it was used as an emergency ration in many parts of Europe. And I just thought, wow. What a food that can provide such sustenance and such life-giving force to people who are truly desperate. And that's kept me going. You know, that fact has kept me going. Truly.
Yeah, Dr. Sid. I think we took this picture together at a farmer's market in Paris, right off the Seine River.
Gotta be. The River Dog Farm is my favorite Parisian farmer's market. It's one of the greats. It's a must go. If you ever go to Paris, make sure you go to River Dog Farm. It's magical. You know, only the best gourmands source from there.
Absolutely, really true to history, really true to the legacy.
Yeah, for sure, completely.
France and the rutabaga, or the Swede.
Oh, don't even get us started. We could talk about that forever.
Ooh.
Okay.
We can.
Next slide.
Oh. The things, the karabis that we have tasted in our research studies. The grant that Harvard University gave us to go around the world, try out all the rutabaga recipes from all over the world, just everywhere in America, North America, South America, Chile.
Oh, I remember that fondly.
The rutabaga in Newfoundland, bathed in butter, cooked over a cast iron pot until it was ripe enough to melt in your mouth and be drunken like a warm smoothie. Yes.
You have not lived until you've tasted a Canadian rutabaga. It's covered with poutine, maple syrup, bacon, cheese. We're talking comfort food to end all comfort foods. If you think, oh, I need culture, I need class, I need a warm hug, Canadian rutabagas are the way to go.
That warm hug came from a Mountie in full regalia. Hat off inside because he always had to be inside, except when he was in a Tim Hortons.
Oh, yes.
At Tim Hortons, he would take his hat off, unbutton his top collar, and eat rutabaga maple syrup poutine.
Yeah. Yes. You know, I still exchange letters with him. We write handwritten to each other. It's a joy of my life.
That's wonderful to hear. I always wondered what happened to him. I know I think he was having some trouble with his wife or something.
He was, yes. Unfortunately, they're still together, but you know they're making what they can. They're making do. But you know I tend to write him some things to cheer him up a little bit. I know he's going through a bit of a rough patch, so I just try to be that person for him. But we're close. Anyway, Australian rutabagas. Did we talk about those?
Oh, Australian rutabagas. You know what they do? You know what they do on that side of the world?
I do, and I can't wait for your details.
We went to Sydney together.
Yep.
Dr. Sydney and I.
I know.
They put their rutabagas in foil, okay, with a little bit of oil around it, and they put them in the pouch of the kangaroo. Yeah. It's like a natural slow cooker.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, they should call kangaroos Instapots.
You know, we pitched that to them, and they didn't go for it, but we still think that that's a great name. I'm just getting emotional because I'm thinking of the little Joey who came up to us when we were in Australia on one of our many travels and would follow us around and started mimicking our hand gestures a little bit, you know. We named him Paul. Yeah, yes, you know, he became a whole member of our group. And I still actually write letters to him. I don't know if you know that, but I do keep in contact with him.
Hey, it's a beautiful thing. You
Yeah.
know, it's always good. You know, I do less letter writing. I do more souvenirs.
Oh,
Like send
yes,
send packages to
of
people.
course.
Like, you know, because as part of our research, we got this grant from Harvard, so we got to do.
We do. We have a grant from Harvard. It just. Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, no. So I just like to send everyone a 6-pack of Samuel Adams. You know, just to show them where we're from,
Right.
where we've been, and like whenever we want, we can share that beer together.
Right. Exactly. All right. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Next slide. Oh. Here we are, folks, nearing the end. It's not there yet, but we've obviously been around the world in just these few short minutes. But before we wrap up, we're going to take a few times. I get so confused all our many travels, you know, if this country uses minutes, if this country uses seconds, what the conversions are. So I just like to use time as one giant catch-all. But the mighty rutabaga is durable. And we're going to talk a little bit about that because we've seen some really shocking stories in some more war-torn countries where, you know, the infrastructure was not there. The cheer was not there, but the rutabaga stood. So my colleague's going to tell you a little bit about those countries where, you know, they didn't have much, but at least they had this.
You know, the rutabaga brought so many countries through so many things. When Paris was getting bombarded by Big Bertha in World War I, what do they have? The rutabaga.
Yeah.
When Greece was going through an economic crisis because of the euro,
Yeah.
there was the rutabaga. When South Africa was going through apartheid, who fed Nelson Mandela in prison? The local community garden of rutabagas.
Yeah.
Now, we have to clear out any remaining confusion
Yes.
over the legacy of the rutabaga that is sometimes conflated with the turnip.
Correct.
Because I saw what turnips did. I saw what turnips did in Spain. I saw what turnips did in Nigeria. I saw what turnips did in Florida.
Shameful.
Shameful. I don't want to keep discussing the turnip, but I want to remind you.
Yes.
Rutabagas save lives.
Yes. That's true. I don't know how much more simply we can put it, that the rutabaga is the key, the center, the root of life. And I just want to remind you how versatile it truly is. You know, you can put it on top of something, you can put it on the bottom of something. It doesn't matter. It's a good vegetable, and it'll keep you sustained for as long as it takes.
And we would like to thank the University of Harvard Law School for
Yes.
allowing us the grant and continue to give us the grant money to continue the research and present upon the rutabaga.
Yes, thank you. We do truly. It's been the honor of my life to participate with you on this long journey of vigorous research, and that's what we have for you today, folks. And we're so glad that you joined us. Thank you.
That's fantastic. Thank you, doctors. Thank you so much. That was very informational, and it's clear that the two of you are very passionate about the rutabaga.
Yes.
It's fantastic, and it's we have many questions from our audience, so let's just jump right into them. Okay, let's see. We have a question. Is a rutabaga part of the beet family, and can they can this person pickle them?
Yes, you can pickle them. You can. As to whether they are part of the beet family, I don't know if my colleague has an opinion on that, but I didn't focus on beets too much. I wanted to make sure that I was staying true to the rutabaga.
You know, technically, from a law standpoint, beets are kind of, well, you know, see, in Eastern Asian countries, not Southeast Asian countries, your brother's mother's cousin is your uncle, not your cousin. So I like to call rutabagas and beets cousins, but I kind of want to call them uncles in order to fit that particular etymology. So,
But to be clear, turnips are not in the family at all.
No. No.
Fair enough.
No.
All right. And just to clarify, so you are a doctor of law and you are a doctor of psychology. Is that correct?
I am.
Okay.
but you know,
Fantastic.
that's not all we are, Michael. You know, we
Oh, sure,
live
sure.
lives.
And I
Yeah,
think
we are some of our parts, right?
and I think we are uniquely qualified to study it from this perspective. You know, had we gotten too deep into some of the more facts or factual elements of a rutabaga, I think we'd miss the bigger picture.
Well, sure. And that actually leads right into our next question from our audience. Dr. Sid, what psychological effects do too many rutabagas have on humans?
To whoever asked that question, thank you. I love you. I don't think we will ever know because we could not get to that point. The limit does not exist. There's no such thing as too many. I think that joy, love, happiness, life, those are the psychological effects of too many, you know, enough, maybe striving to get to enough of rutabagas, if my colleague would agree.
Oh yeah, you know, like I said, we approached this from different angles. So like I approached it from the standpoint of all the treaties that were made over the rutabagas, you know, the abilities of governments and diplomacy to be equivocated over that situation. But you know, it's like, you know, you look the president of Rwanda in the eye and you feed him a rutabaga and you can sort of see like the peace that comes from within.
Interesting.
Do you know I still
So-
write to him, actually? I do.
Oh yeah.
I do.
How's his dog?
Dog's great. Things are pretty busy, but we do say hello every now and then.
All right, let's see. We have some more questions here. Has anyone ever researched the original routes that the rutabagas were routed for transports of the roots? That's a tongue twister there.
You know, we've been trying to draw the map of the roots of the rutabagas origins.
Yeah.
Now we can kind of go from the etymology of it when it comes to what names started where and with whom. So,
Correct.
you know, current research, and this is a developing subject, and this is why we continue to receive our grants from Harvard Law School.
Yeah, we do.
In order to research this because of the importance and significance of this, especially in our modern world. You know, we're currently saying the first rutabaga was found actually in the pyramids of Giza in Cairo, Egypt.
Yep.
So you start there, move a little up. There's some work with the Crusades.
Yep.
There's a little bit of Spain. That's why we was in Spain.
Yep.
And you just you go down from there and you move it over and it spreads.
Yeah. And from my perspective, I was tackling a little bit of a different angle looking for the root. So I've been getting my hands dirty and digging up a couple to try to follow all those root patterns in the dirt, you know, so to speak, and to follow literally in the dirt to see how the roots grow. Unfortunately, though, as soon as I dig them up, I lose the train. So that's been an ongoing struggle for me to make sure that I hold up my end of the bargain and track those roots. But we'll keep you updated, you know, when we release our paper for sure.
Fantastic.
It's
So
almost it comes from the center of the universe, center of the earth.
Yeah, of course.
all the way down to that core. All right. Unfortunately, we only have time for one more question, and this viewer wants to know: can they make rutabaga vodka?
This is so exciting. This is very, very exciting. You can. Right now, we have a vendor who we've been talking to in Russia. They've been making rutabaga vodka, and they're looking to sell them in a couple of stores. And so we've got some really interesting leads. I think that's next on our travel list, isn't it? To go over to Russia and check out some of the rutabaga vodka that they have there.
Oh yeah, he sent me a bottle of that vodka, right? Because I send him a 6-pack of Samuel Adams. So when in Russia, if someone sends you alcohol, you get alcohol back. So rutabaga vodka tastes like vodka as you would get from the potato, but there's a certain richness to it. It almost like it doesn't get you drunk. It's almost a psychedelic feeling. Like I start seeing. Last time I drank 3 shots of rutabaga vodka again, I saw rainbows.
Yeah.
Rainbows shot out of my fingers, rainbows shot out of my mouth, rainbows shot out of my eyes. It was a sight to see.
Dr. Sidney, are you feeling any rainbows right now?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Well, both of you are well on your way to some rainbows. All right. Well, thank you so much, doctors. It's been enlightening, and we hope to hear from you again soon.
Oh, pleasure is all ours.
We'll write to you, Michael.
I'll write to you. Yes, take care.
All right. Well, we've certainly had a lot of knowledge so far, and we have 2 more presentations to go. So let's bring on our next pair of experts right now.
Hello, Mr. Michael.
Hello, hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, of course. I'm very excited to hear what you both have to explain to us this evening. Now, I feel like, and please introduce yourselves to our audience.
Absolutely. My name is Candice, and is my daughter here? Hello.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, sweetie. Thank you for doing this with me.
Yeah, I just really want to make it clear that I'm only doing this because my therapist said it would be really, really good for me.
Oh, and I said it would be good for you too. Remember? We're bonding.
I think this is the first mother-daughter team we've had, so that's very exciting.
Yes, we actually work together. So yeah, we're spending quality time, but we don't get to like really spend that time together, since we're so busy.
Yeah, it sounds like it's maybe a little under protest from your daughter, Candice.
Well, agree to disagree.
We disagree.
Okay, well, this is going to be fascinating. So I'm just going to let you two jump right into it. So let's hear what you have to say. I'm very excited.
Absolutely, thank you. Let's go ahead and bring up our presentation. Oh, don't make those sounds, honey. Look, it's alpacas, right? So we actually raise alpacas on a farm. And so our cover photo is actually our favorite alpacas. So up front here we have Timon. Timon is very feisty, a lot of personality. So that's why we named him Timon.
Mom.
Oh, we'll talk about that. So we also have on the very right there, we have his name is just Larry. That's after actually my second husband. So Larry likes to, spit a lot. So, we won't talk about that. But then I want you to talk about who that last one, you named him. Remember when you were 3 years old? You remember what his name was?
His name's Gary.
Gary. And why Gary, honey?
Well, because it rhymed with Larry, and that was my limited vocabulary. Mom, I hate our family business.
Oh, well, you know what? I think you just need to, just engulf yourself in it a little bit more. I think there's still a lot you need to learn, but, I know you already know a lot. So this is why we're giving this presentation. You'll maybe find your love of it along the way.
Fine.
Okay, so we're going to just, give you some fun facts about alpacas. I think they are the best animal on the planet. So let's go ahead and start with our first slide.
So there are two breeds of alpacas, the Hookakaya and the Surrey.
You remember that song I used to sing you? Hookakaya, Hookakaya. You remember?
You sing it to me every night. The thing that people don't know about the Hookakaya is that when they spit at you, they look directly into your eyes as they're doing it.
Oh. Do you remember? I'm going to tell the story. Okay. It was when I was with my third husband at the time. So Henry, our lively little alpaca, you were trying to feed him, remember? And you were actually smiling. You were smiling. And then he's just spit right in your face. Oh, we got video of it.
Yeah. Mom put it up on the internet when I, went to college. Tagged me in it so all my friends could see. It was real great, Mom.
Oh, it was so cute, honey. But yeah, so we have the Hookakaya on the left and the Surrey on the right. And my particular favorite is the Surrey. Just look how fluffy that is. We make sweaters out of that wool all the time. You don't wear any of them, but that's fine. I think you look adorable in them. But let's go ahead and go to our next slide.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at this friendly face. That is Samantha. Samantha is 14 years old as of this year. But something we want to talk about is humming. Humming is the most common sound that alpacas make. And I'll let you answer this. Alpacas hum when they are
ready to kill you.
No, not
yes,
kill necessarily.
Mom, they hum a battle march as they try to stampede you across our 400 acres of land.
Well, technically, and excuse my language, this is just nature, it is because they are horny. So they get into this kind of like frenzy, so yeah, they'll chase you a little bit, but it's not evil, honey. So that is one reason why they hum. Another one is just because, they're singing and dancing, just like humans do, right?
Mom, I just never understood why you encouraged them.
It's nature, honey. You just got to be one with nature. And you know what? Obviously, I was looking out for you. They never got too close.
Running is not my strong suit, Mom. That hum I hear every night before I go to bed.
Just like the Hoo-ya-Kaya, Hoo-ya. Yeah.
It's made into a really weird remix, and I can't get it out of my head.
Oh, don't worry, sweetie. We'll get there. You're going to love these guys, I swear. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide then. I'll let you talk about this one.
So, cushing. Cushing is when a llama or an alpaca, llamas are related.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare do this again.
They're the same thing.
They are not.
Fine. They cush or cush, whatever you want to call it, when they are seated. What people don't know is that when they're seated, they're planning out their attack for you. They are planning out their attack. And it's really just like the most traumatizing thing when you know that an alpaca is going to chase you down and cause you so much pain. They're just diabolical like that.
So this was a little bit exaggerated. She likes to throw around the word trauma, but I think it's just part of growing up. So cushing is really, it's more about the sound it makes when they, take a seat. It goes whoosh because they're so squishy. So it's just a cute little word that we made up. And I didn't want to talk about this, but since you brought it up, we are. Alpacas and llamas are not the same. And I swear to God, if I see one more meme saying that alpacas are just the Wish version of llamas, I'm going to lose it.
Mama, I am really sorry that I started that meme.
It's okay.
Anyway.
Hopefully therapy helps you out with that one too, sweetie. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Oh, pooping. It's a funny word. You know what? Again, it's just nature. It's just human nature. Oh, that face, honey, that face. Come on. It's natural. Alpacas specifically use a communal dung pile. And quite frankly, it makes things a little bit easier. Just to clean up, you don't have to go like scouring the yard. Oh, honey, can I tell the story?
If you like, if you must.
I must. We're here. We're telling people about alpacas. So obviously I, was, telling Tori to go, pick up the dung pile. She was what, maybe like 10 or 11, a very susceptible age, very young age. So I think, again, around the time of my 5th husband at this point. So we were both, out there, kind of doing our own thing. And all of a sudden we hear her scream, and she sat in the dung pile. Like she must have slipped on something and fallen right in. It was just.
That was not the right word, Mom. It was pushed. I was herded and pushed into the dung pile by the alpaca.
Oh, we didn't see it, honey. I doubt that. That was the day of. Yeah, that was Timon and Samantha, and those are my 2 favorites. There's no way they could have done that to you.
They are the ones who conspire against me, Mom. I'm pretty sure you put them up to it.
Okay. He said, she said, Timon said, Samantha said. It's all hearsay.
Yeah, you and Roger, or AKA number 5, were literally chanting, "Slip in dung, slip in dung."
Okay, honey. Well, you know what? It made for good entertainment for us, and you're fine, right? You were able to clean it off and continue about your day. So don't worry about it. It's fine. You're gonna like alpacas. It's just poop. We all do it.
Mom, it's been 28 years and I still haven't liked them.
Let's go ahead and go to our next slide.
Oh my God.
I wanted you to do this one specifically.
Orglink is the guttural sound produced by the male alpaca when they are having sex.
Yeah, again, it's natural. Yes.
It's disturbing, Mom. They're having an orgy right now.
Listen, sweetie. So these are all my friends. I think they're all roughly about the same age here. Yeah, in the back there, that is Stephen, who I named after my 8th husband. So, excuse me?
He looks like your 8th husband.
That's why I named him after my 8th husband, sweetie. So we have, I got a couple more fun facts, even though like this is about the end of our presentation, but a fun fact is that alpacas only gestate for about 3 months, which I think is very interesting. And you were a little surprised by that, weren't you? Because who was it? Was it Lucille? I think was just like having birth right in front of you, and you didn't know what to do. And I was like, you got to catch it, honey. You got to catch it.
Yeah, Mom, I still don't understand why we had to take me through all of these life moments, like learning about the birds and the bees, but we had to use it with alpacas and birth. And there are images in my head that I can't quite unsee.
It's interesting because I see it as like the miracle of life, these like little fuzzy lives. And, I don't understand how you couldn't see it that way. In my mind, it was beautiful. You got to hold a wet little baby in your hands. Oh, adorable.
It was slimy and gross, and somehow it like knew to spit into my face. Do you know that they can spit up to almost 20 feet?
Of course I do. I run an alpaca farm.
Rained on, Mom. Rained on.
That's just part of it. You think I didn't get rained on when I was younger?
Yeah, but Alex, my little sister, like that never happened to her.
And she's doing a little bit better at her job, isn't she? All right, well, that is the end of our presentation. So thank you for tuning in. We're happy to answer any of your questions.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Candice and Tori. Tori, it sounds like you had quite a unique childhood.
Unique is just the start of it, Michael.
Wow. All right, so let's
the separate chicken coop that she had.
Oh, I guess that's another That's another presentation altogether. All right, let's see here. What do we have? Oh, let's see. This viewer wants to know: are your alpacas available for adoption? I think Samantha would make the perfect companion animal for my iguana Sal.
Okay.
They're
That's
all
very
up for
sweet.
adoption, yes.
No, not
Yeah.
Samantha. Not Samantha, sweetheart. Samantha has been a part of this family for ages. She's about your age, honey. Like, with you for a long time. So not specifically Samantha or Timon or Lucille. I have a hard time, parting with them. But yes, they are. They are technically up for adoption.
Sounds like mostly not, though.
Mostly not. You're gonna have to fight them out of my cold dead hands.
Yeah.
Wow,
Samantha
okay.
has a seat at our dinner table, if that tells you their relationship.
So, how do you actually make money off of this business?
Technically, it's just the chicken coop. Alpacas are more of the hobby. Again, I make sweaters with alpaca fur, and she will not wear them. So I assume that's just kind of telling for how the alpaca sweater market is doing. It's mostly the chickens.
All right, fair enough. Let's see. Tori, I think this is for you. This is from the boy from high school you have a crush on. He says, "I actually love alpacas. What's your favorite thing about them?"
My favorite, Johnny talked about this. I guess my favorite thing about alpacas is that one day they'll die. Like,
This
they
attitude.
are just the devil's creation that roams here on Earth. They can grow up to 6 feet tall. They can carry 500 pounds. I think they can get up to be 500 pounds. Like, again, can you imagine a 10-year-old running from them with that kind of superpower behind them? They are frightening.
Wow, that
Not
sounds.
only not only can I imagine it, I have video, but also think about all the facts you know about them. See, like you're learning a lot on the job.
Well, I look forward to seeing that video there. That's fantastic. Let's see. Would you recommend adopting a Hoyakoya or a Suri for a novice alpaca mom?
Oh, so the Surrey is obviously a little bit easier to maintain and a lot fluffier. That's what you usually see of alpacas. The Hayakaya is just a little more, as my daughter would say, aggressive or humpy. So I wouldn't recommend that for a first timer. I would go with the Surrey for sure.
So
Yeah,
to be
my
clear, the
husband-
Hayakayas are the ones that are more of the murderous type.
Well, I would say horny beyond all doubt.
Really, Michael, or whoever had asked this question, it's like, pick your trauma. Like the Hayakaya, they might chase you down. They might do really disturbing things in front of you. The Surrey is more prone to do that, like diabolical planning and like wishing you dead. So again, just whatever trauma you're really willing to live with.
Fair enough. All right, and let's see. One final question. Can you just for our audience, can you imitate an orgle sound for us?
Oh, I've been waiting for this question actually. Oh, that gives her a headache. I know.
That's like like not even, that's delicate into comparison. It's more like a
Well, that's when something's happening. The beginning is
Wow. Okay.
just
So
teaching, just teaching.
sounds like there's a wide range of orgles.
Correct.
All right. Fantastic. Well, Candice and Tori, thank you so much. This has been very enlightening. We really appreciate you coming by and educating us on alpacas.
All right. Thank you for having us.
Tori, I hope your trauma is over soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to up my therapy sessions. Thank you all.
I'm paying for them.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Well, we have one presentation left, and we're honestly very excited about this last pair of doctors that we have coming on. This is going to be oh yes, there's a Dr. Cynthia Pierceson. Is that correct? Oh, you're on mute, doctor. I'm sorry.
Yes, that is correct. Dr. Pearson.
Dr. Cynthia Pearson, thank you very much for coming. And Dr. Margaret Stern, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be on here with my wife.
Oh, yes, it's great to have the both of you. And how long have you two been together?
4 years.
And it's been the best 4 years of my life.
Yeah,
Wow.
We study the exact same field, and it was traditionally a very male-dominated field, and we shattered that ceiling.
I remember when I walked into that graduate seminar class and I made eye contact with you, and I'm like, I don't want to break this ever for the rest of my life.
I know. We almost haven't, but sometimes we have to travel for different conferences. I'm in Wichita.
I'm in New York.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, love is beautiful, and it's great to have the two of you here. And you two are two of the foremost experts in your field. So we're really excited to hear what you have to tell us about your area of expertise. So let's jump right into your presentation, shall we?
Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah. So we are the world's foremost experts on professional wrestling, and we love to talk about the history of it because it's really rich. That's where I think the magic kind of happens.
And I think, most people don't understand what a rich and complicated history that professional wrestling has.
Mm-hmm.
But we hope today that you're going to get just a little bit deeper insight into this complicated world.
Yeah. Actually, our vows were you think it gets messy in the ring, like the wedding ring, because it gets messy in the ring and in the history of the ring.
Next slide.
Next slide. Okay, so early years. It's not exactly what you might have pictured. We didn't have The Rock. We didn't have John Cena. What we had was carnies and drifters. And it was brutal. Usually what they called it was a 3-game shame. And that's because at your 3rd game, most people died. And so that was the shame, was that they died.
And this is actually my favorite part about this picture that we're demonstrating for you here is this is really the turning point of wrestling. This is where the 3rd game shame takes it to a whole nother level, because as you can see here, the man on the right shaking the hand, this is actually the last known picture of him.
Yeah.
Because he dies after this.
And, honey, can I tell your personal story?
Please do.
That's actually her grandfather in the photo. So I have to say, I fell in love with you for your wonderful personality and everything about you. And I have to say, it was bonus points that you are a legacy.
And I have to say now, can I share a personal story about you?
Absolutely.
That gentleman there in the cap, who is actually the referee for the match, that's Dr. Stern's great-great-great-grandfather too.
Yeah. It's the most fated thing. Anyway, next slide. Yeah, so some big changes. We're not talking about 3-game shame. People got a little bit more resistant to the idea of dying in the ring. And so the records that we have from later times, we're looking at the mid-70s, early 80s, show a much safer passage through the career.
And I want you guys really to take note at the way that if we have Bob Stamina on the left in the black suit, the way that he's looking at the Hulk, you can see the way that his eyes are like squinted at the perfect, about 45-degree angle.
Mm-hmm.
This is a signal. I know, I bet you didn't know this is a signal. How squinted your eyes are is a signal in terms of, hey, I like you, brother. Let's get a beer after this. It's secret wrestling code. I know.
Yeah. And actually at our wedding, after we did the vow exchange, we had a session where we looked at each other for about 5 seconds.
Just like that. And then I think too, Dr. Stern, we shouldn't forget there are a couple of other secret wrestling signals in this image that we've captured here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's the half hand fold. So if you notice Bob and his hand on the it's on our left hand side, his right. This is called the hand fold. So it's actually a vaguely threatening kind of gesture. So his eyes are saying, let's get a beer, and his hand is saying, I'm going to knock you out.
Totally. And the Hulk, he already knew that Bob likes to do this threatening hand gesture. So what he did is he put in a paper wrist bracelet on his left hand to say, hey, none of that here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be a scissors, and I'm going to also be threatening to you as well. I know I'm paper, but scissors beats paper, and I'll be paper. And it's a whole metaphor. There's this whole secret lingo.
Yeah, and that's why when I gave birth, we have a beautiful daughter. I made sure during labor to have my hands fully straightened out, and we were both wearing the hospital paper wristlets because we wanted to show we're not doing the threatening half fold. We have the let's be friends paper bracelets.
And I think we really should have made more of a formal birth announcement, but we named her Hulka Hogan Stern Pearson.
Yeah, and she's so beautiful.
She has your eyes.
Her crib is shaped like a ring, like a boxing ring or wrestling ring. Oops. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so the next era is actually my personal favorite. It's the Attitude Era, and this is where you really get to have the full range of facial expressions to show that you mean business. Now we don't have 3 game shame. We don't really have people dying much anymore. Just the occasional, outlier. I think about like a 4% death rate in this era. But this is where you have to get all your personality in through your face because you know that you can't kill them. So you have to add drama somewhere, and it's going to have to be the actor's greatest tool, the performer's greatest tool.
And I think, as we discussed, we're going to give them a demo of that today, Dr. Stern.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually going to call out the specific attitude, a slew of selections that were represented, and your face may get a little closer and will actually demonstrate, the exact attitudes that were represented in this era. Okay?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So the first one we're going to talk about is going to be the baby crib smasher. Yep, that's it. That's it. That sound, that was exactly like the sound of the wrestler, the baby crib smasher. That was amazing, honey.
Thank you, sweetie.
This is why I married you.
And I'd like for you to show them the face of the wrestling river. And that's exactly what they would do. And you got the river sound effects to let them know that they will drown in their own blood. It's morbid folk here.
It really is. It really is. But all in good fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think, though, it's really important that we mention some of the female icons of the era that are so often overlooked.
Mm-hmm. So if you look right about the center on the left, you see someone wearing a veil. That's the bridezilla. And actually her backstory was incredibly tragic. So she was left at the altar and was so enraged that, as legend has it, right across the street, there was a wrestling ring, and she went in and she killed 4 men in one punch. They were all lined up in a row and their heads just knocked together like bowling pins.
And, fun fact, it was actually 7 men, but the press found it too appalling to add the other 2 digits to it because they thought it just was too much for the public to handle.
And as scholars and historians, we believe that we are ethically obligated to share the names of those 3 people. So please rest in peace, Steve Richardson, Tim McGraw, and Dale Frank. Also, to be clear, it's not the Tim McGraw you might be thinking of. That guy's still alive. There's a different Tim McGraw.
Different Tim. Yep.
Yeah. All right, shall we
Next
take on the
slide,
next
I think.
All right, so to close up today, you have so many choices. The history is happening in 4 different directions, and so we typically cover the W, and there's plenty of other.
The W stands for wrestling, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, we call it the Dubs, but
or the wah 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 wah.
Yeah, the woo wah 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 wah. That's how we spend every Sunday morning and Friday evening when they have their wrestling matches. We actually were just given grant funding by the NIH to hire on 3 separate postdoctoral fellows to cover the history of these 3 other organizations. So we are looking for someone with the passion, the drive, and at least 4 years experience of dedicated study of wrestling while in grad school.
And I want to say, shout out to Dr. Sid and Dr. Deck, who also applied for the same grant through the NIH to apply the same funds to Rutabaga. But, couldn't find them all. There were many great projects in this, but professional wrestling versus Rutabagas, come on.
Yeah, I mean, this is human interest. This is the type of thing that makes life worth living. If you don't get into fights, what do you have?
Nothing.
Nothing.
And then I think we should really talk about the TNA logo right here in the right upper hand corner, which stands for Take No Answers.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's allowed to talk in the rings.
Right. Yeah. You can accept no answers. You can accept only questions. It's actually an incredibly artistic and metaphorical form of wrestling, because everything is left to your interpretation. It's the first time I watched a TNA match, I sobbed for 48 hours straight. I only took breaks to eat and sleep.
It's true. I was so worried about you. I had to spoon chicken noodle soup into your mouth.
Yeah. You read to me Chicken Noodle Soup for the Wrestling Enthusiast Soul, which you edited.
I did. And the acknowledgement is dedicated to you.
Well, thank you all so much. We love to share our passion. It is something that it fuels us. It's the only thing in life that gives it spice, that gives it variety.
Wait, what do you mean the only thing in life?
Well, we have each other in our connection through it. But I mean, I've told you before, like, life wouldn't be worth living without wrestling. Like, you are like the cherry on top, but the ice cream is wrestling and wrestling history.
I think we're going to have to talk about that after. We did just have Hulka Hogan Stern Pearson, and we're going to follow up with that. But I like to think that we're the bull and the ice cream. We're the bull and the ice cream, Dr. Stern.
I mean, I would say that, Hulka is like a sprinkle. I can't make you the bowl or the ice cream. The bowl is the ring and the ice cream is the wrestling.
Sounds like the two of you might have some issues to work out maybe after our presentation here.
I didn't realize we would, but it seems like it.
Let's get to those questions.
All right. I want to start off by saying just thank you. That was so informational. And, I'm not a big wrestling person, so I certainly learned a lot during your presentation. I didn't know a lot of those details. So let's get into some of these questions we have. Here's a fun one. If you could choose wrestler names for each other, what would they be?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the Insecuritron?
Oh, I don't know. I don't like to put my family in first. And instead, I think wrestling and my academic career is more important than the loved ones in my life.
That would make a terrible name. That's like 30 words.
That's a pretty long name. That's a pretty long name.
Good for the TNA, the metaphorical one.
Okay. All right. We'll move on to the next question. Did your great-grandfather have his family before or after his wrestling career?
Well, in my case, he had one child before, and then he passed before the second one was born.
Same before, because he died pretty shortly after.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
After
pretty,
he was
pretty
born.
self-explanatory.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Can you comment on the breaking up of steroid circles where wrestlers would use enhancements as a group?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the worst shame that I've ever heard of. I don't understand. You wanted entertainment. You wanted people that were big and strong, and you wanted to watch death. I don't understand why you can't demand all of those things and not allow steroids, all right?
I think we're on the same page that we should definitely bring back performance enhancing drugs, you know? Make
So
the fights bigger.
You're both pro steroids.
Yeah, I've personally done steroids every night since I was 16, and I have had no negative side effects.
None at all.
Wow.
Sometimes I help her. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Oh, kind of getting back into that relationship there. Do you two have like hall pass wrestlers in your relationship? Are you familiar with the hall pass?
Yeah,
term?
Ronda Rousey.
We're aware. We're wrestling experts.
I know Ronda Rousey also does, other things beyond wrestling, but I think the spirit of the wrestler is in her.
And
I agree.
Dr. Cynthia?
Totally agree. Hall pass wrestling. Keep it in. And it's in our relationship. And I'm not going to comment further because this is a public venue.
Oh, okay. All right. Sure. Yeah. I mean, if we're going to get into it, then I would also add anyone, probably any wrestler, anyone that's wrestled at any point in time.
Wow. Okay. Let's move on. Let's see. What else do we have here? How would you react if your child chose art school over wrestling school?
Take that back. Take that back right now.
Holka?
I'm just asking the questions of our
Holka?
viewers.
Holka is off at some little fancy pantsy art school. No. Holka beat up every single kid in her preschool, and we bought her ice cream for it.
This is her 5th preschool because, she really just gobbles up the week, which is what we've been really teaching her to do from a very young age.
All right. Okay. So some anger issues there, it sounds like. Let's see.
Anger issues? You think that expressing anger is a bad thing? You don't think that humans have a need to express the feelings that they have? I'm just getting mad, all right? I'm getting mad.
I'm so sorry. No judgment. No judgment. We have a couple more questions here. Let's see. Okay.
Take a big breath, honey.
Please expand upon the wrestling team Generation X's signal of crossing their forearms across their pelvic area.
Yeah, it's a way of saying that I'm gonna gird my loins and you better too.
Yep.
So it's kind of a mating call?
I mean, there's actually, you've probably heard about the Olympics. Wrestling is the same. There's a tremendous amount of sex after a match. So it's half mating, I would say, and half like, I'm gonna protect my sensitive area.
All
it's
right.
like I'm interested, but so like don't hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
Save this for later.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Let's see. A couple more. Oh, again, I'm sorry to keep delving in, but the viewers have questions. When you two fight, what do your fights look like?
Incredibly sexual.
They're so charged, like we're charging at each other.
Yeah, that's why distance is so hard for us. So we're absolutely infuriated, and no way to work that out right now.
I'd have to say it's like when we see each other in the airport after we're reuniting. It's like a pack of rhinos because Holka's in there too, and then it's just this incredible explosion because we've been arguing so much about the distance.
Yeah.
And it just hit a charging point.
And actually, Holka's presence has been very good for us because prior to her presence, we were arrested a number of times for inappropriate conduct in an airport. both sexual and
right.
physical aggressive.
Oh, wow. Okay. And one final question. I know this is a charged subject, but your opinions on the accusation that wrestling is fake.
I'm sorry. Fake? Do you call art fake? Do you tell Vincent van Gogh that the night sky doesn't look so blurry? Do you?
Do you call Michelangelo a garbage man?
Yeah.
Do you call Vincent van Gogh a teacher?
Do you call up classical musicians and tell them that the flight of the bumblebee is a lie because bumblebees make a buzz noise and they don't sound like a piano song?
So you're comparing someone like Vincent van Gogh to someone like maybe the Junkyard Dog.
Yeah. So it's
or
real.
the Undertaker.
It's not fake.
Mm-hmm.
The Undertaker is just as real as Vincent van Gogh.
It's as real as the blood that you bleed.
And people do bleed on
Mhm.
TV, so it must be real.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's leave it at that. There you have it. Thank you, doctors. This has been very enlightening. We appreciate your knowledge on our show, and I hope that you are able to fight it out soon, if you will.
We will be.
Right after this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have a good evening, doctors.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That is the end of our show this evening. Thank you so much for watching. We hoped you gained as much knowledge as I did. I feel just just my brain is full right now, right? Just full of information. So this is a monthly broadcast. So tune in next month, and please subscribe to our channel. And if you would like to hear more about what we have going on in Imposters Theater, we have new videos and new content every week. So I will drop a link in the YouTube comments if you want to sign up for a mailing list. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.